Breaking urgent news just minutes ago. The entire British government is in a state of total collapse. We come to you live from London as Keir Starmer's administration is confirmed to be finished. Brought down by a constitutional crisis so profound it has shattered Westminster into pieces. This is not a drill. This is not a political negotiation. This is the end of a government. And it was all started by one man, the future king. Prince William's speech, the 5 Minutes insiders are calling the moment that ended a prime minister, has done the unthinkable. He didn't just break protocol, he broke an entire government. We must be absolutely clear about what ignited this firestorm. 3 days ago, at a private dinner in Brussels, the prime minister was recorded calling the monarchy an outdated institution and a financial drain on working families. He believed those words were private. He was wrong. Someone recorded it. Someone sent that recording straight to Kensington Palace. When Prince William heard it, he did not see a political slight. He saw a declaration of war on the Crown and on the British people. So last night at the Royal Variety performance, William did what no senior royal has done in a century. He threw away the script. Standing beside Princess Catherine, he looked directly into the camera and delivered a message aimed like a guided missile at Downing Street. There are those who believe tradition is weakness, he said. They are wrong. Tradition is the backbone of this nation, and anyone who attacks it attacks every single person in this room. The applause lasted 47 seconds. The fallout lasted far longer. That speech was the detonator. Within hours, Britain was in crisis. Financial markets entered freefall. The pound plunged. Confidence in number 10 evaporated. But to understand the fury behind William's words, you must see the context, the contrast that has enraged the public. While the man in number 10 attacked the very foundations of the nation, veterans who served with honour are sitting in freezing flats, unable to afford heating. James Morrison, a 73-year-old former Royal Marine from Portsmouth who served for 26 years, told reporters he must now choose between medication and groceries. I fought for this country, he said. Now I can't even keep my home warm. His is not an isolated story. Thousands face the same grim choice. Where was the Prime Minister while this suffering continued? At Chequers, the taxpayer-funded 1,500-acre country estate, reports show he enjoyed a heated indoor pool and chef-prepared meals costing thousands a week. Records show clothing allowances in the region of £17,000 last year. Designer suits and private tailors. The contrast is not merely shocking. It is obscene. Even lifelong Labour supporters call it a betrayal. And then the revelations. Documents obtained by journalists show number 10 spent £43,000 on a single state dinner. Champagne at £600 a bottle. Wagyu from Japan, gold leaf desserts. The guest list. Foreign diplomats, corporate donors, lobbyists. And not a single veteran, not one NHS worker. That image at a time of rising hardship produced raw, visceral anger. Sarah Chen, a nurse from Leeds working 60-hour weeks, posted a video that has been viewed millions of times. I can't afford to fix my car, she said, tears streaming. I take 3 buses to get to my shift. And this man is spending my tax money on gold desserts for millionaires. Prince William didn't create this anger. He gave it a voice and a focus. He exposed what millions already felt, but could not say aloud. And in doing so, he unleashed a storm that quickly became a constitutional crisis. Then came the moment no one expected. King Charles entered the battlefield. The monarch, who has until now maintained strict political silence, took the extraordinary step of speaking directly in a way that was unmistakably aimed at number 10. At a Privy Council meeting at Buckingham Palace, the King declared, "The Crown serves the people, not political ambition." He did not name the Prime Minister, but everyone understood who was meant. Palace insiders now confirm King Charles personally approved William's statement hours before it was delivered. This was a coordinated royal response at the highest level, not a rogue act. Constitutional experts say this is the most serious royal intervention since 1936. And it gets more extraordinary. The King reportedly held an unscheduled private meeting with the Archbishop of Canterbury 2 days before the speech. While the meeting's details are confidential, one phrase leaked: constitutional obligations in times of crisis. Senior lawyers say that language signals the Crown is preparing to advise and, if needed, exercise powers that have been dormant for generations, including the power to dismiss a government that has lost the confidence of the people. The market response was immediate. Within minutes of William's words, the pound fell 1.3% against the dollar. International investors took fright. Betting markets shifted dramatically. By day's end, 17 billion had been wiped from the FTSE 100. This is not political theatre. It's economic real consequence. Across social media, the reaction was volcanic. Defend the Royals trended globally, amassing millions of posts in hours. Internal polling leaked to the press shows a catastrophic swing away from Labour, a 14-point drop in just 72 hours. Traditional Labour heartlands like Durham, Newcastle and Sheffield are flipping. On the streets, protests erupted in Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, Leeds. Not organised party rallies, but thousands of ordinary people. These aren't Tory activists. These are Labour's own base, the working class voters who feel betrayed. In Glasgow, 71-year-old Margaret O'Brien held a sign reading, "I voted Labour all my life, never again." A university student in Bristol chanted, "God save the King." When you lose both Margaret O'Brien and the young voters in Bristol, you have lost the argument and the future. Inside Number 10, panic has become a full-blown meltdown. Ministers who were united days ago are now hurling accusations in corridors. WhatsApp groups with names like Post-Armour Planning and New Leadership Coalition are plotting a removal with surgical precision. Cabinet ministers are preparing resignation letters to be handed in simultaneously, an act that would instantly collapse the government. Downing Street, frantic aides. Reports from insiders describe the Prime Minister as shattered. Sleepless, pacing, chain drinking coffee, in denial about the scale of the disaster. Even defenders in the parliamentary party are distancing themselves. Leaked documents now claim Number 10 knew the Brussels dinner was being recorded and proceeded regardless. If true, that would mean this crisis was not an accidental slip. It was manufactured. The smoking gun now circulating among journalists is a memo titled Modernization Through Conflict. The document allegedly outlines a deliberate strategy, provoke controlled controversy around traditional institutions, with the monarchy listed as target number one. If authentic and it becomes public, this memo could prove the crisis was weaponized for political gain. The political opposition is already seizing the moment. The Conservative leader stood calm and composed, projecting stability and duty, a contrast that has pushed the polls further. Support for the Conservatives has surged to the high 30s, while Labour plummets into the mid-20s. For millions of swing voters, the choice now looks like stability versus chaos. Opposition leader speech, campaign posters. What happens next will unfold over the next 72 hours. Parliament returns from recess on Monday. The Prime Minister will face PMQs at high noon in what is expected to be the most brutal questioning in modern memory. Backbenchers may sit in dead silence. The opposition will strike with calculated precision. Simultaneously, coordinated cabinet resignations could trigger an immediate vote of no confidence. If those letters go in, the government loses its majority, and with it, its mandate. So where does this leave the country? Britain is now living through a constitutional showdown that will be studied for decades. A Prime Minister who sought to modernise has been undone by the very institutions he sought to challenge. At the centre stands Keir Starmer, isolated, desperate and increasingly finished. Does he resign before he is forced out? Or will his party stage a coup to save itself? Did Prince William, with one speech, just end a Prime Minister's career? Or did he trigger something even bigger, the collapse of an entire government and a constitutional crisis without precedent in modern times? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. We read everyone. Share this video with everyone who needs to see what's happening in Westminster. Hit subscribe. Tomorrow we will break down the leaked Modernisation Through Conflict memo word by damning word. The evidence journalists are racing to verify looks catastrophic. And if it's real, the story may not be over. This is live, breaking and still unfolding. Stay with us for continuing coverage. From London, I'm News Corps Britain. Good night.